Hey guys, it's DarudeLeafStorm here, and I'm here with week 7 of UNPL. This week we are taking on Nova Blader and his Bermuda Kecleons, I believe his team name is. Nova is a really nice person, someone that I've had we're in a couple of servers together now, a couple of leagues, so someone I've definitely been looking forward to battling. So yeah, this is the team builder portion of the video. You know how it goes. My team is on the left, Nova's team is on the right. We are currently sitting at 6-0 heading into this week. We're looking very strong, but you know, now that we're here, we want to go for an undefeated season. I think playoffs are near enough guaranteed. If so, it's going to take like a lot for us to lose. We've got very good differential too, so we've had a very strong season here in UNPL, but like I say, wanting to hopefully keep that undefeated streak all throughout, which would be lovely. However, this is not going to be an easy task. So you see Nova's team, we've got the Meowscarada, Slowking, Gala, Hydrapple, Cleaver, Volcanion, Enamorous, Electrode Hisui, Samurai Hisui, Colossal, and Crocodile. Now, looking at this team straight away, this team cock blocks Palafin hard. You know, he's got Volcanion, he's got Hydrapple, he's got Meowscarada offensively, he's got Electrode offensively. Yeah, this team really does cock block Palafin kind of hard here. There was a set that I could bring, that like I could bring some sort of scarf set, I could bring like a bulky subset to kind of sort of against Volcanion, but I just did not like any options here. But you know, Palafin being one of my top picks, and then he's also got the Slowking for Sneasler. So then we go on into my next pick, Raging Bolt, and that actually looks really solid in this matchup. But Nova's got actually a really annoying team, and I actually really quite struggled prepping for this one, just because he had a lot of answers for a lot of my offensive presence that I have in my team. So I'll hop into the team and show you what I brought. So beginning the team off, we have actually brought the Sneasler. This week we are running Swords Dance, Dire Claw, Close Combat, and Shadow Claw, running Pineapple Berry with Unburden. So we're rocking 4 HP, 84 defense, 124 attack, 152 Spadef, and 144 speed. Yeah, the speed is enough to outspeed Enamorous, without obviously Unburden. But with the Unburden, I outspeed near enough everything on Nova's team. Now, Nova has a couple of options when dealing with this Sneasler. You can either click a psychic move straight away, which I think is always going to be the play into Sneasler, as he's probably going to be like Colbert, or he doesn't even necessarily have to run a Resist Berry, but if I get a crit Shadow Claw, it has a really good shot of knocking out Slowking. So yeah, so maybe he'll run Cassine, we don't know. But yeah, and basically if he pops my Pineapple Berry with the Psychic, I get my double speed, and I've EV'd my Sneasler to live the Psychic plus a Sucker Punch from Meowscarada. And it potentially, because it's so bulky, potentially live 2 Sucker Punches, both from Samurai and Meowscarada respectively. So it's looking very strong if I can pop that berry. Next up we got Lady Tiggs to Tinglu. Holding the Custard Berry, this is going to be my designated lead this match. Rocking 248 HP, 156 defense, 104 Spadef, Careful Nature. I basically EV'd this mon to live any hit from Nova's team, the only exceptions being maybe like a Specs Leafstorm from Hydrapple. It can live a Specs Steam Eruption for Volcanion. So yeah, I think it can actually live a Specs Leafstorm from Hydrapple, or it's a roll or something, but yeah, Tinglu's looking very strong this game. Rocking Stealth Threat, Memento, Ruination, and Whirlwind. I think it's a really strong lead into Nova's team overall. The only thing that would stop me would be like Taunt Meowscarada, but I'm not too worried about that, as I have got the Ruination to kind of chill that one down. So yeah, I'm not too scared of that one. But yeah, pretty safe lead. Custap is to allow me to get a Memento off maybe later on, or just an extra Ruination for my mons in the late game. Next up we've got Thugs, the Fortress, rocking Boots on Thugs this week, rocking Spikes, Rapid Spin, Volt Switch, Body Press, just max HP, max defense. I basically need an answer for Cleaver. Cleaver is very scary for my team overall. Yeah, it's a very solid one to my team. Also checks Meowscarada. I was tempted to run helmet on this mon, and yeah, it does look very solid here. However, I wanted boots just in case I need to get a spin off and live a hit from full, maybe against Volcanion as kind of like a panic spin, or get a spike up, or get some body press damage off. I think overall keeping that sturdy intact could be really solid this game, depending on how the game goes. And it can go either very quickly or it can drag on. So we'll see kind of how far it works in this game. But yeah, I thought overall having the boots would be a nice option this week. I hate not running Rocky Helmet against Meowscarada, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Next up, we've got Clarissa, the Dusclops. We're rocking 248 HP, 8 defense, and 252 special defense, calm nature. We're rocking the good old reliable set with pressure. Nightshade, Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk. This is basically my Hydrapple answer. If Hydrapple is AV, it really can't do anything to Clarissa whatsoever. And I have a feeling it could be, or it could be like Haban for Raging Ball, it could be Yachi. There's a couple of Hydrapple sets that could come here for sure. It could be Kebia, is it Kebia for Poison? Yeah, there's a couple of sets definitely could be, but I think overall Clarissa's just a safe answer to it. It also checks Electrode Hisui, it checks Volcanion, which I really struggled switching into. Obviously Slowking too, and then obviously you can take hits like Crocolaw, etc. So yeah, Clarissa's looking very strong. Pressure ability obviously allows Steam Eruptions to lose its PP very, very quickly. So yeah, I think pressure stalling is definitely something that definitely could happen this week. He's also got obviously Namorous, which Clarissa can take on completely this week, stopping Superpower Boost and taking on any special variant. Next up, we have got Petunia, hopefully the MVP of this week. We're rocking Leftovers this week, which is unusual for me, but we're rocking Carmine, Draining Kiss, Terrablast Ground, and Torn. So this one is kind of like a wall breaker. I think I can use it two ways this week. I can either use it to start with and kind of break some of the mons that potentially stop Sneasler from winning in the late game, or I can use this in the late game. It's either one or the other, really. So we'll see how we get on. We're rocking at 108 defense, 180 death, 220 special attack and modest nature. I'm very happy with this set. I think this set is really solid, especially versus like Crocolaw. Crocolaw is a comfy cock block basically. It's it's rough, especially with Terra. Obviously it's got Fire, Fairy and Ground, which I didn't go over, but I definitely think that one's so solid into my team. It's actually unbelievable. If I bring like a stall breaking team with like Banded Palafin, like Banded Sneasler, or like offensive Scarf Sneasler, I think it struggles a little bit, especially when I've got like BABYYY who can literally come in and kill him on. However, I didn't bring it this week. I felt like he had a lot of offensive answers to it, and I felt like all the offensive answers were going to come. You know, Electrode, Samurott, Colossal, even. Like if it's AV, Colossal is such a defensive, solid counter for that. I thought like Scarf and Amorous was coming. I thought Meowscarada. Obviously having Triple Axel now, it's a threat. It's a threat. So yeah, we had a lot for BABYYY. Spoiler alert, it's not coming this week. But I felt like with those mons, Crocolaw struggles. However, without those mons, which I don't have, I think it can really sit there. So that's why Torn's on Config this week. I can take on Crocolaw with my 180 speed death. With the draining, after he's terrored, with the draining kiss, I should be healing back roughly what he's doing to me in damage. So yeah, fingers crossed we can kind of do something to that Crocolaw. So yeah, and you know, I think Config has a really solid chance to just sweep this week. Yeah, I really see it. If it breaks through Crocolaw and I get my Calm Minds up, I think it has a really solid chance of just winning. His team's quite weak to it, so yeah, we'll see how we get on with Config. But last and not least, we have got Cameron the Raging Bolt. We're rocking Leftovers this week. Rocking Draco, Thunderclap, Protect and Calm Mind. I'm really proud of this set actually. So 248 HP, max special attack, Modest Nature. That's not the part I'm proud of. That's just for maximum damage output, because I want this mon to either clean up or I want it to come in and do some damage. So yeah, Thunderclap and Draco overall just hits Nova's team really hard. I think he has very little for this mon overall. That exception being the Crocodile, but that's why I've got the max special attack Modest Nature, so I can kind of drop Dracos on that mon, kind of force a Terror potentially into the Fairy type, but if it comes in on this mon, it's going to take so much damage, and then obviously Unaware means it ignores my stat drops, which is really nice. So hopefully we can potentially force a Terror on that. I think Crocodile is good even without Terror, but I could see it coming with Terror for Palafin. But yeah, and then yeah, so I've got Protect on here as well. Protect is the kind of tech that I'm proud of. This is for Meowscarada. If Meowscarada clicks any move but Flower Trick, +1 Thunderclap OHKOs that mon, which is again why I've got the max special attack Modest Nature. It's the only way I OHKO a Meowscarada that's not Grass type. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping I use this mon a little bit later, so I'm kind of forcing the Meowscarada to attack me rather than switch out, click Flower Trick. But I'm expecting Meowscarada to be like Banded. I'm expecting it to be like some really offensive item, some offensive type of Meowscarada. I think it's going to be Boots or Banded. I think that's one of the two that comes this week. But yeah, overall I think this mon's really, really solid, and I'm excited to do really big things here. We got leftovers just to kind of sit there and get some leftovers recovery throughout the course that Raging Bolt's in. But yeah, overall this is the team. It's looking very solid, but Nova's team is not something to be to take lightly. I think Nova is 2 and 4, maybe 3 and 2 and 4. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe 3 and 3. But yeah, like I say, nothing to take lightly into this. Got a very solid team and potentially really take this game home and end our undefeated streak. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the team builder, and I'll let you guys get into the battle. So enjoy. Hey guys, it's DarudeLeafStorm here, and I'm here with week 7 of UNPL. This week we are taking on Nova Blader and his Bermuda Kecleons. Jesus, I nearly butchered the hell out of that then. Yeah, so we're taking on Nova. Nova's a really nice guy. I just want to get that preface straight away. I'm in a couple of servers with Nova, and he's a very fun guy. And he also said that he's got a little code for me to crack mid-game. Now you will see that the layout is a little bit different today. A couple of reasons why that is. In my video my mic was just not working, and then towards the end of the video it just cut off for some reason. I must have pressed the button wrong or something, but yeah, so we got a little bit of a different layout this week. So thank you to Nova for this side of the battle. It's really appreciated. It allows me to get this video up for you guys. So yeah, so we can kind of we'll skip to the team preview kind of part, which is going to come up actually right now. See that? How cool. Also, sorry if you hear any noises in the background today. I'm having some work done on my house. So I'll look at the team preview. I'm just going to pause it right here. We see I've got the Sneasler. If you watched the team builder, you'll know this already. But we've got Sneasler, Comfey, Carmine variant with Torn. We've got SD Shadowclaw Sneasler again with Pyappa Berry. We've got Raging Bolt. We've got Carmine Raging Bolt, that is. We've got Adapting Lou, which is going to be the lead. We've got Spadef, Dusclops, and we've got Fortress this week. Pretty standard set, there's Death. So yeah, I'm looking at Nova's team. Got the Slowking, which I'm expecting to be Fizdef. I think it makes a lot of sense into my team. It's got Banded Cleavor, which is crazy. I did not expect that at all, but it makes a lot of sense. Cleavor is very strong into my team. We've got the Crocodile, we've got Meowscarada, we've got Hydrapple, and we've got Samurott. First thing I was thinking when I saw this team preview is, oh my god, I'm gutted I didn't bring Palafin. Palafin would have done so much in this game. If I got Rocks Up, which is immediately what I'm planning on with my Team Lou, Palafin would have gone wild this game. The combination of just Flip Turn, Mystic Water, Jet Punch, Ice Punch. Well, maybe not Flip Turn, maybe like, or Wave Crash, maybe a CC for the Samurott. I did have Palafin on here originally, but you know, he has a couple of things. I thought it would be Yachi, Hydrapple, or AV. I thought Meowscarada would probably be banded. Scarf makes a lot of sense too though, for Sneasler. It does make sense. Also Boots would have been a little bit annoying on Meowscarada. I was expecting Scarf Cleavor for sure, but again, Band is very strong. I do have a lot of I have a few bulkier mons which I bring a lot, so it makes a lot of sense to kind of punish those with that, as I don't really have a good switch in. As my main switch in is Fortress and Banded, they're going to do a lot of worry. So let's just get into the game anyway. So my lead is always Ting-Lu. This game, I can basically live any hit apart from this banded Cleavor that we've got going on. I'm going to skip this to 1.5. Oh, we are on that already. Cool. Yeah, and kind of see where we go from there. As you can see on the code, do it for Finley and Shep is the code that Nova wanted me to figure out, and I did it at the end of the game, the very end of the game. I was so bamboozled with everything going on with my mic and my video that I didn't crack it until the very end of the game, and then I got it. But yeah, so good luck, have fun to Nova. Again, thank you for your side of the battle. It's very much appreciated, my friend. And let's have a good game, you know. I think we could definitely have a solid one here. I think Raging Bolt looks amazing in this game. I think Comfey looks really good too. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we get on. So my lead here is always going to be Ting-Lu. I did actually message Nova because I realized my mic wasn't working as we were starting the game. So I asked if we could restart, but obviously Nova's laser focused. There's no playing around here. So I'm going to get my rocks up immediately, which looks really solid into Nova's team. I was expecting this Slowking to be Boots, which obviously we see that it is because it is annoying. You know, the regen is so free with the Boots, and I don't have a lot of knockoff users apart from like Comfey and something else on my team, I guess not. But I don't have the strongest knockoff users at all. It's definitely one weakness of my team. But anyway, in comes the Cleavor. Like I say, I can live any hit from Cleavor as long as it's not banded, and if it does kill me here, I know that it's banded. So we can kind of see and gouge what this Cleavor set is. But we do get the rock ship on it immediately, which is lovely. It's definitely needed. Obviously, me seeing that means I know that it's not Boots, which is great. It means that Cleavor doesn't have as many switch-ins as it normally would. And with it being such a threat to my team, it definitely helps. But I do have a couple of offensive answers to Cleavor, hence why I'm not too worried. We do see the X's come off, and it OHKOs Ting-Lu. That is the first time Ting-Lu has been OHKO'd in this league, and now I know that this is choice banded Cleavor. So that is nice to know. It's crazy, yeah. Choice banded Cleavor makes a lot of sense into my team. So now here I'm kind of thinking what to do versus the Cleavor because it's a very, very strong mon. So I do bring in my Sneasler, and I decided to go for this early. I don't know whether this was my play. I still stick by it. I think I was, you know, tempted to go into Fortress and click Volt, which I think would have been a fine play. However, I think if I'm going to get it in, it's going to be like now, really. So I am going to click SD. If you saw from my team builder, I am SD Pyapaberry, so I'm kind of expecting Slowking to come hard in here, so I'm just going to click it. Like I say, if there's a better time to do it, it's now. I don't think I'm going to get a better opportunity, and then hopefully I can use my Comfey later on. So we do get the SD up. I'm going to go for a Shadow Claw. You know, if I crit, this potentially just kills. A lot could go my way here. We don't get the crit. Goes for the Psychic over the T-Wave, which is another big thing. And yes, we are going to live that. Now here, I'm in a bit of a predicament. I was tempted to go for the Dire Claw here. I think Dire Claw would have been a fine play into Nova's team. I think he's probably going to save the Slowking. However, I thought if I was in Nova's position, I probably would just sack Slowking here and maybe just go get the free switch into Croc because it's got to take rocks, it's got to take a Shadow Claw, and then it's got to take Dire Claws, which is a big nuisance. But I will say I was very tempted to click Dire Claw, hence why it took me a little bit longer to make this move. However, it does bring in the Croc, and that is going to be annoying because it's going to eat the Shadow Claw up completely. And now I'm like, well, my Sneasler has chipped the Slowking, but not really to the point where I'm happy with that. But I've kind of done my set now, so I'm just going to go for Dive-Claw, Para, Sleep, or Poison. I think if I get the Poison or the Sleep, it's actually really big into Nova's team. And it helps Comfy out a lot. So I do get the Para out of the 3, which is probably the one that I necessarily didn't want out of those, but you know, at least I get something, you know, 2 Dive-Claws and I get something out of it, so very, very happy with that. But Nova does end up killing my Sneasler, which is big for him. It's a big, big kill. So here, I'm going out into my Comfy. I'm just going to keep up my pressure, keep up my setup, and I'm going to click Calm Mind here. Obviously, I know that this Crocodile is unaware. However, I've EV'd my Comfy to get as much health back as he's doing with Flamethrower once I get my... once he terrors. And if not, if he doesn't terror, Terra Blast Drowned is doing a ton to this Crocodile. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind into the Taunt, preventing him from roaring me out straight away. And on this turn, I believe I go for another Calm Mind, I want to say. Basically, I need to get to +3 to kill a potential AV Samurott. That's the only thing. Once I'm Terra Ground, AV Samurott's the only thing that stops this mon from winning right here. So, goes for Flamethrower here. As you can see, it does a decent chunk, but not enough to the point where I'm scared, especially after leftovers. And you know, with that Para, it's actually really solid into this situation in particular, because you could get Para at any turn, and I can get another 3 advantage out of this, whether it's another Calm Mind, whether it's a free Taunt, whether it's the Draining Kiss recovery. So here I am going to Terra, and I'm going to click Terra Blast. I need to start pressuring this Crocodile now, especially with it being full HP. It's the only other thing that really stops my Raging Bolt. So as a mon, I definitely want to get out of the way. This and Glowking are the 2 mons that I can see being a paid for Raging Bolt in the late. So we are going to do a solid amount, as you can see, and he does get fully paralyzed. Now, this is big because obviously does not get the Flamethrower damage. I get an extra free round of leftovers. Here I have to click Taunt. It stops Slack Off, it stops Raw, it's something that I basically have to click into this turn. It was kind of a no-brainer for me on this one, and we're looking very, very strong in this position right now. It's looking very, very solid for Comfy, and this is the situation that I exactly wanted it in. You know, I wanted it in versus Crocodile. I wanted to click Taunt and kind of stall break this annoying Crocodile. I have such bad memories with this thing. Danny did really solid with it versus me, and it's just a really annoying mon, especially with Terra. We do see the Terra come off here, which is nice. I'm glad he terrored on this turn, since I was going for Taunt anyway. It just meant that I can kind of just click Draining Kisses from now. So we do see the Taunt come off on Nova, and Nova is going to make the nice play of clicking Flamethrower, getting that extra chip on me, and potentially getting a burn, which does not get hit, which is good. Thank God for that. So here, I'm kind of thinking what my next play is. I know that I need another Calm Mind up, but I'm going to scout the Draining Kiss damage first, see if I can definitely play this game. And as you can see, we gain a solid amount of HP back from that. He's doing a little bit more with Flamethrower, but after the lefties, it kind of balances out a little bit. But I am worried about, you know, I've gotten 1 fully Para so far, so that's nice, but I think as soon as I get another, it definitely puts me in a really solid position. But if I don't get another, it kind of leaves me in a little bit of a tough spot. Now, I will say, I'm going to click Draining Kiss again here. It's a solid amount to Croc, as you can see. Put it down to 81 HP. Goes for the Flamethrower and does a solid chunk. Now here, the Taunt wears off, and I make a really big misplay. So here I do click Terra Blast Ground. I was looking at the calc, I was like, well, I killed this Crocodile, like, that's great. This is wrong for a few reasons, right? So A, I needed +3, which I'm currently +2. I think he was a bit more of a Spadef. Let me just pause this a sec. I think he was more of a Spadef Samurott anyway, so I potentially needed a +4, but if you click Jet on that +3 and I click Draining Kiss, then I practically win from that point, right? So it's important to note that. If you click Razor Shell, then obviously it's different, but I would have at least got this chip on Samurott, right? So on my calc, I saw that Draining Kiss, Terra Blasted a lot. That's because I was calcing it still with the Fire type, which I don't know how I didn't notice, or it was like a weird sort of roll, and I thought it was like in my favor. But my play was always torn, right? It was always torn. You know, I know I can gain the same HP back from Draining Kiss, so my play was always torn here, always. It stops the roar, stops the slack off, and yeah. But I kind of thought Nova would click Flamethrower, right? Which I shouldn't go off. You should go off my throw always, which is clicking roar. So, yeah, I am going to click Terra Blast. Like I say, I needed that +3, so my plays were probably torn into Calm Mind, into Draining Kiss. Again, I live 2 more Flamethrowers, especially after the Leftovers recovery. So anyway, we do click the Terra Blast. I'm thinking this is going to kill, lives on 2. And now it was a roll, I will say that. It was a roll to kill, obviously, with it being 2 HP. It was a definite roll to kill this mon. However, I should have never let it get to that position. Nova roars me out, and yeah, that's not great. But the good thing is that we have really chipped this Crocodile. Like, this Crocodile is dead now, basically, because I bring in Fortress, I outspeed this mon anyway, so I either click Body Press and kill it, or comes back in and saves it for a sack later on rocks. So I know this Crocodile is dead, and that is the one mon, especially with Terra Fairy, that was stopping my Raging Bolt. So I am happy about that. However, Comfey definitely could have potentially just cleaned this game. I'm actually going to do a quick calc on here. I am on window capture, so I'm not going to do it on my PC because it will mess up everything for you guys. But I believe I was like 220 modest on my Comfey. It was something like that. So we'll do 220 modest, and we'll count Samurott. Now I will say it was a very defensive AV sort of Samurott, so that doesn't make the difference here. But +3 Draining Kiss does like 95 to 112, right? So say if he's max HP, for example, it does 76 to 93. So there's still a roll in there, which I can kill it. Anyway, we'll carry on with the game. Brings in Slowking on my Fortress, clicks Flamethrower, I bring in Comfey because I need damage on this mon, basically. It's the only other mon that really stops Raging Bolt from winning. The only moves I've seen from this mon are Chilly Reception, Psychic, Flamethrower, so I've not seen the last move yet. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I could see a couple of things coming, to be honest. I thought T-Wave was definitely an option for my Sneasler. I thought that was a good one. But I definitely think that the option that Nova's brought is very, very solid into my team. He has the top 6. So I go for the Terra Blast here. I was debating going for this or Calm Mind, since I kind of thought that the mon would come in. What's it called? Hydrapple, and if I got the Calm Mind up, then I actually have potential to 1v1 it, depending on the spread, with Draining Kiss, etc. But I don't know anything about Hydrapple yet. It could be AV, and it could just sit there and war me. But I do get the Terra Blast off, and Slowking is now really, really chipped. Obviously, with the boots and with the regenerator, it is going to heal back quite a lot here, but I'm very happy with that chip on that. I'm thinking this Steam is looking very, very, very solid for my Raging Bolt. Obviously, I don't know what Hydrapple sight is yet. AV is kind of annoying since it can potentially live a hit from my Raging Bolt and do a lot back, especially if he gets like, I think I live a Draco from non-invested at +1. But yeah, in comes the Hydrapple, and we see that it's boots. Now this is really important information, so I'm kind of looking, and I see a couple of things that I'm very scared about. I was not expecting boots on Hydrapple, to be honest with you. I was expecting Yachi or AV. But boots, again, is really annoying with the regenerator. It makes a lot of sense with my hazard stack, Ting Liu. So yeah, I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared of this one, I can't lie. I don't know what this is going to do, but I have Clarissa, who's not Clarissa this week. She is a code name, as you know, I named all of my mons after ciphers and codes because Nova hinted that he had a little code for me this week. So a bit of a switch up on the nicknames. So we are going to withdraw Enigma, who's quite dark, right? Compared to Petunia, it's quite scary, quite dark. So I am going to go out into my Dusclops on this as he pulls a double out into Glowking. Very solid play by Nova. He just gets his regen back up, and it's very, very annoying. I was kicking myself at that because that is so annoying. Because now Glowking has basically taken no damage. So yeah, so it's gonna go for Chili. I obviously am gonna underspeed him here, which is solid. I made sure that that was a thing.
I'm pretty sure actually, I can't quite remember why I invested. I think if he was like no speed, but not minus speed nature, I undersped him. I can't quite remember. But anyway, we are going to catch the Samurai on a Nightshade, which is huge. Nice chip for this mon. I have got Comfy in the back still, so Comfy's still got potential, you know, if it catches a good Draining Kiss. We're back in the game, but the Toxic is very annoying for that. So very good bring by Nova. Very impressed with that one. Makes sense. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what he was going to bring, whether it was Slack Off, whether it was T-Wave. To be honest, I didn't really consider Toxic, but it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, here I am going to go into my Fortress. It's my safest play versus this mod. I do not want to lose my ABLI on Dusclops. There's no real reason for me to. And if he goes for Ceaseless Edge, I get to go for the spin. So it goes for knockoff here, and I'm happy with that. It means I get to fire off a Volt Switch, I believe I go for. I think it's pretty solid. I need to get some momentum back on my side. Nova's kind of got me in a spot here, especially with this Slowking. It's looking very bleak, considering I sacked off my Sneasler to get damage on this, to be fair. But, you know, it's okay, it's okay. Slowking is one of those ones that it's just a pain. So I am going to bring back Enigma. I need to get some chip on this, as I said. So I'm always going to bring this one in on this, like the way I am doing. Eventually, I mean, he's gonna either switch out into Hydrapple here, and we're in the same loop. I go back into Dusclops, and I just want to basically Dusclops is here just to kind of PP stall the Hydrapple a little bit. It's a little bit annoying for my team, but Dusclops can take it on, especially if he's not set up. And we go for the Terra Blast Ground Haze, stays in, and we get the crit. Now this is massive, obviously, as this is one of the mons that was stopping Raging Bolt. Purely for Toxic. If this mon didn't have Toxic, I think Raging Bolt just won from that point on. I really struggled to see what Nova had for Raging Bolt at that point, but obviously with the Toxic it's very annoying, and I had to get rid of it as soon as possible. I do get the crit, luckily enough, and I am able to kill this mon off completely. So yeah, looking very, very solid into this. So unfortunately for Nova, that sucks a lot. So brings in the Hydrapple, which makes a lot of sense. I am just going to go right back into my Dusclops. Again, it makes the most sense on my side. I need to kind of chip this one down, get as much damage on it as possible. I am scared now that this is a boot set. I don't know what this mon's going to do to me at all. But we shall see, we shall see. So out goes Comfy, and in comes my Dusclops. Obviously got the pressure there as well, and we do see the Giga Drain come off. It does absolutely nothing. Dusclops is a beast, and it has been a beast for me this entire season. I'm very impressed with how it's performed. It was a mon that I wasn't really not keen on grabbing. I have used it before in past gens, but and how offensive this gen has been, I really wasn't sure, and it's been doing absolute wonders for my team. So I am going to go for the Nightshade, kind of scout out what kind of Hydrapple this is, and we do see Nasty Plot. Now this is the only set that was really annoying for my Dusclops to face, and we're facing it. Dragon Tail was one thing, but Dragon Tail, again, I can kind of PP store that out, it's not a big deal. Nasty Plot is a pain. So goes for the Fickle Beam, luckily enough, does not get the All Out straight away, which is amazing. It's definitely something that I really, really needed. And I get my Calm Mind up, which is huge. It's something that I brought before, and I'm bringing it again because it's something that I needed to bring this Hydrapple. And I'm going to go for another Nasty Plot. I'm terrified of this mon, but I'm going to click Calm Mind again. So I'm at +2, he's at +4 right now, so we can go for another Nasty Plot and kind of outpace me here. But I'm kind of expecting just the attack on this turn, but Nasty Plot again does make a lot of sense. Does go for the Fickle Beam, does get the All Out, and we are going to be able to just hang on with Dusclops. I had to make the tough choice between Calm Mind or Rest here, and I did go for the Rest, and luckily it did pay off for me on this turn. And yeah, so now we're looking okay. Is gonna go for the Giga Drain, get some health back from that. I am going to click Sleep Talk and hopefully get a Calm Mind off of this. That'll be massive. As soon as I get to +4, +5, I can outpace this mon massively. So I am going to get Calm Mind, get to +3. He's at +4. So I'm thinking here, he kind of has to go for either another Fickle Beam and try and get the plus, but you know, he only has a few. Nasty Plot, I think, is the correct play. And now he's +6 and I'm at +3, and it's looking very scary. And he has to play these Fickle Beans very carefully now though, because now he's in a spot where he kind of has to get 2 all outs for it to kill me. So yeah, I believe I am going to go for the Calm Mind on this turn. I was debating whether to go for that or Rest, because he could go for 2 Fickle Beans, get the all out twice. But I am going to get the Calm Mind up, and now I'm at +4/+4, he's at +6, and now we're looking in a very nice spot actually. So here I have to go for the Rest. If he goes for Fickle Beam and gets the all out, he does a lot of damage to me. But this mon only has 2 Fickle Beams left with my Pressure, so that is massive. Pressure is such a solid ability, and yeah, it's been putting in work. So it sucks that I've had to do this, but you know, Nasty Plot Hydrapple is actually really solid into my team. I don't have a tremendous amount for it, especially with Sneasel being gone now and Comfy being so chipped. It's a very, very strong one into my team. So this is the way we got to do it, and you know it's working. So can't knock for that. So anyway, brings in Chef, and I'm like, Chef. I've seen this one already, but Chef. If you didn't know, Chef is the one and only Diggersby that 1v1 a Hydrapple with Cheek Pouch, Citrus Berry, Recycle, Toxic, and it was an incredible time. And yeah, we love Chef. We love Chef around here. Missing Diggersby a lot. But anyway, Samurott comes in. I'm clicking, going out into Fortress. He clicks Knock. I think makes sense. I think not makes sense. However, I have pivoted into this before, so I think Ceaseless might have been a solid play on Nova's end there too. But I understand the desperation. You know, if I throw and I stay in with Dusclops, and he gets that knockoff off, it's massive against my team. Now here goes to Ceaseless Edge, and I should have clicked Rapid Spin. Now, I don't know if I've already scouted this. I don't think I've scouted anything about the Samurott yet, so I didn't know he was AV. I had a feeling, but I didn't know. So it could have been Scarfed or anything at this point, I'm pretty sure. So I should have really gone for Spin, but me not thinking properly, I just clicked Volt. And now at this point, I have to bring in my Raging Bolt. I think this is the time where I need to, you know, I've seen Knock, I've seen Ceaseless Edge, and I don't want him stacking any more spikes into my team and me taking chip on everything. Like, this is the point where I need to try and win the game if I can. So here I'm thinking, you know, I kind of knew what AV set he was going to bring. I knew it was going to have Jet Sucker, I knew it was going to see Sedge, I knew it was going to have Razor Shell and Knock. So I am going to click Calm Mind on this turn. I was risking the knockoff. I think knockoff made a lot of sense. However, if you wanted to try and outplay my Thunderclaps, he could have gone for Sucker or Aqua Jet. So I am going to go for the Calm Mind into the Thunderclap, and we are going to take out the Samurott. We're now at +1, and we're looking very solid with this Raging Ball. Now here, I'm fully expecting Meowscarada to come straight in. It's the only mon on his team that can really do anything to this at this point. I'm thinking Banded, Triple Axle makes a lot of sense. It kills this mon, so like I say, it makes a lot of sense into this. And Meowscarada does come in. I'm praying no random overgrow. Meowscarada, please. I am going to click Protect. This is always my strategy with this mon. He is going to click the Triple Axle, and I'm thinking, yes. Now, if you're not invested, if you're not AV, you've taken the rocks that I needed you to. At this point, you die to a Thunderclap. So I'm going to go for it. If he brings out Cleavor, I just click it again and he takes rocks damage. If he goes out into Hydrapple, I click Draco and get a kill. So he's putting a little bit into a spot. We get the Thunderclap off, we kill the Meowscarada, and that is massive. It's huge into this endgame. And now all he's got left is Cleavor and Hydrapple. Now here at this point, his play is going to Hydrapple, and I think if I'm Dragon Pulse, he might live. Maybe not, now that he's Boots. But I think he has to kind of hope that I'm Draco and hope that I miss. I think that's his kind of play at this point. I don't think Fickle Bean kills me unless it's an all-out one. Even an all-out one I might potentially live depending on his investment. But I am going to go for the Draco, and I do connect, and down goes Hydrapple. So yeah, now I'm looking very solid. I really don't see, you know, I know Cleavor's banded. I don't see a way for him to win this at this point. I've saved Comfey in the back. I know that I lived the spike hit, which is again something that I noted earlier on in the game. So here my play is always to go for the Thunderclap. It makes a lot of sense. and you know, I get the damage for Comfey in the late game. I do go for Protect. I'm not sure why, to be honest with you. I think, actually, it was because I wanted to see whether he went for Stone Axe. If he went for Stone Axe, I would have sacked Comfey. Sorry, let me just pause a sec. If he was Stone Axe and clicked it here, I would have sacked Comfey, gone back into this and got a neutral Thunderclap off because that always kills from this range. However, I knew -1 was either a roll or it didn't kill at all. So I wanted to scout what he was going to click. We see the X's have come up. I am going to click the Thunderclap. It's not quite going to kill the Cleavor, but now I know, you know, I've got Thunderclap, which I can click again. However, I want vengeance. I want to show Comfey, you know, I really appreciate her and everything she's done this season. I threw away some kills for her potentially this week. I want to give her something back. So I am going to swap out into my Fortress on this turn and sack it to the Exeter from Cleavor. I know it's sacking off a differential point, however, my diff is already so good and I'm fighting for Comfey to go for kill leader. I want Comfey as kill leader in UNPL. Right now it's sitting at, I think, number three spot. So yeah, we are going to lift the spike. We're going to go for the Draining Kiss, and Comfey is going to pick up another kill. I'm sorry, Comfey. I should have just clicked Torn. I'm sorry I failed you. But we are going to pick up the win against Nova. Really solid game. Nova really had me on my toes here, to be honest. Really had me on my toes. Very solid team. Very solid match. So yeah. Overall, I think I played the mid to late game. After Comfey, I think I played it pretty well. I think Nova also played it pretty well. I think I don't really know what Nova could have really done else this game. Obviously the crit on Slowking sucked. It would have meant that I had to go for Raging Bolt a lot sooner. I think as long as I got the chip on Slowking, I think I could have gone out into Raging Bolt straight away after, say if he kills me, which he would have, I would have gone out into my Raging Bolt and clicked Draco. Doesn't have a switch in at that point, so something would have been sacked, but it definitely would have been a different game for sure. I think it would have been a very different game. However, I was confident in the Raging Bolt late game. I think it was really solid into a lot. So yeah, who knows how it would have gone, but the crit sucked at the time. You know, there was potential of him, if he ever pivoted, if he sacked all the mons and pivoted around and got Slowking back up, like that was an issue for my team, right? So, and for an issue for Raging Bolt, as I wouldn't have been able to do what I did in that late game. But who knows how it would have gone? It's theory modding at that point, but yeah, it definitely sucked at the time. So yeah, GG's again to Nova. Really solid game. Again, really had me on my toes. And thank you for the code. Do it for Finley and Chef. You know what? It's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. So yeah, we're staying undefeated in UNPL, which is massive. Heading into the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we can stay undefeated and potentially grab a title in this. But I'm going for the chip. You know how it goes. And an undefeated season is just a cherry on top. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been DarudeLeafStorm and I'll see you all later. Bye guys.